Hi, Jeff Fennick here from Australia, former three-time world champion. Started boxing in 1981, represented Australia at the Olympics in 84. Won my first 3 fights, and then my last fight against the Yugoslavian was overturned by the international jury. Steve McCrory went on to win the gold medal. I turned professional immediately after that in 1984, and after 6 professional fights, in my 7th professional fight I fought for the world title, for the IBF World Bantamweight title. And I was able to become world champion after only 196 days. It was the shortest time ever for a professional boxer to win a world title. That record still stands today, my 7th professional fight. Very, very lucky also. About 4 or 5 fights later, I was able to fight the Olympic gold medalist Steve McCrory in a fight billed as Olympic revenge. I was able to eventually knock Steve McCrory out in the 14th round in a defence of my IBF world title. A year later, I won my 2nd world title. I won the junior featherweight WBC world title against Samart Pakaroon from Thailand. I won that in the 4th round knockout. So I won 2 world titles, which made me the first Australian ever to achieve that feat. A year later, I moved up another weight division after defending that title 3 times. I moved up to the featherweight division, and I fought a Puerto Rican named Victor Callejas, who was a very, very dangerous puncher from Puerto Rico. I was able to defeat him by stopping him in the 10th round and becoming one of only 11 fighters at that time to hold 3 world titles. So my dream was to be the first boxer to win 4 world titles and to be undefeated. I ventured over to Las Vegas to fight one of the great fighters of all time, an African by the name of Azumah Nelson. We fought at the Mirage at Las Vegas on the undercard to Mike Tyson and Razor Ruddock. I think most people who watch a fight realise that, again, I was handed a pretty rough decision, but Azumah Nelson was a great fighter. I was robbed of my opportunity of winning my 4th world title. I continued to box for a couple of years after that. I tried to fight for that world title against Azumah Nelson, which I was defeated against Azumah Nelson. I moved up another weight division to fight for the world title against Philip Holliday, where I was also unsuccessful. After that, I retired from boxing. During that time of retirement, I was very, very lucky. I was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in Canastota, New York, which was a huge highlight for me. In 2002, I was voted Australia's greatest ever fighter from the WBC, which again was another huge honour because Australia's had some great boxing champions, Costa Tszyu, Lionel Rose, Jimmy Carruthers. So to be voted Australia's greatest ever fighter was certainly a huge highlight for me. After all my boxing career was over, I decided to get back in and do something for the sport that had done so much for me, and I began to train boxers. Slowly, as I began to train them, I began to manage them and also promote. Today, I'm one of Australia's leading boxing trainers and promoters. I train a host of great fighters. I have 4 guys who fought at the Australian Olympics in 2000 at Sydney that are all doing very well. Hopefully, by the time this is released, Hussein Hussein could be the flyweight champion of the world. I'm here today to teach some advanced techniques that will prepare you for fighting fighters with different styles, from southpaws to the classic boxer to the pressure fighter. Let's go to work. Hi, we're now going to go through with showing you some of the advanced techniques. First of all, how to box the southpaw. Hussein will come in here and he'll stand in the southpaw position. Southpaw is somebody who leads with their right hand. So if they're leading with their right hand and I'm boxing against this guy, I'm going to have to make sure that I move outside his jab. I start from the outside. One of the classic punches to throw against a southpaw is a straight right hand. But what we want to do is we want to try to be on the outside of all time. So as I'm boxing, I'm on the outside of that jab, making sure that he can't hit me with his best punch, which is his left hand. So if I'm on the outside, if I'm on the inside here and I move inside, I'm going to be hit with a straight left hand. My hand's up nice and high and I'm moving outside. I'm outside the danger punch, which is his left hand. A couple of good punches to throw against the southpaw, like I said, is the overhand right. Another good punch to throw against the southpaw is, just he's there, right hand to the body and coming back with our left hook. Again, right hand to the body, coming back with the left hook. 2 good punches to throw against the southpaw. Another one is, just as we're boxing with that southpaw, is going outside, staying, and using that hook lead over the top of the jab, over the top of that right jab, coming over and using that hook over the top of a right jab. Again, we slip outside the jab and we come back with our own hook. This way we're outside the punch, we cannot get hit with the left hand. Again, we're boxing a southpaw, very good punch, always to lead with the right hand. Outside the jab and right hand lead. Shortest way to hit him is with that right hand. Most boxers, when we're boxing, will have their hands up and they have a tendency to move this way all the time. So if we're moving this way, we're moving into the left hand. So very important, always thinking when we're fighting a southpaw, we're moving to the outside, we're moving to the outside and bring that right hand into play. Stay here. Again, right hand, yep, right hand, left to the body, left to the head. Here we go, right hand there, or right hand over the top, left rip, left hook. 3 beautiful punches to throw to southpaw. Right hand lead, left to the body, which will bring that hand down there. When that hand comes down, we finish with a left hook. Again, we should be in position to throw a punch again, which would be the right hand. 4 punch combination. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Always moving the feet, always advancing the feet. If the feet stay in the same position and I've punched my opponent and he's moved, these punches will not land. Very important. Moving the feet. Feet have to move with our punches. Now we're going to start with the classic boxer, and the same will now start to box around the ring. If I don't cut the ring off, we got a 16 square ring to a 16 foot square ring to a 20 foot square ring, so there's a lot of room for the classic boxer if you don't know how to cut the ring off. A good fighter, a good pressure fighter will not do what I'm going to do now. This is what we shouldn't do. Hussein is boxing, jab with me. He'll jab, box, and I'm going to follow him around. He'll jab, and I'm following him around. The perfect way to stop this classic boxer is cutting that ring off and giving him angles instead of bringing him in, using the head movement, using the hip movement, cutting it off. As he jabs, we catch and we cut the ring off. I don't follow him around the ring. I don't follow him in a circle so he can keep moving and keep working off his jab. As we come into the middle of the ring here, as Hussein is boxing, he's going that way, going to the corner. I'm trying to keep him in the corner. I'm coming outside. I'm making him go to where my punches are. I'm working with him. I'm getting in close. I'm trying to be as close as I can. I'm trying to cut that distance off. We're going to break the distance down. We're going to break that resistance. We're going to break through that jab. Hands up nice and high, coming over with punches. Again, as he moves, I've got to cut the ring off. I don't follow him around the ring. If I follow him around the ring, I give him room to work all the time. So the classic thing to do is, again, as Hussein tries to move, I cut the ring off that way. If he goes back that way, I get back straight to there. I give him no room. This is called pressure fighting. Pressure fighting. Hands up nice and high, catching the jab. Something that Mike Tyson was great at. The classic boxer, an Oscar De La Hoya or Roy Jones. But if they get a very good pressure fighter, they'll make them fight. The great fighters can stand there and fight like Roy Jones, Oscar De La Hoya. When you're a great fighter, you can do both things. When you're not, and you get cut off, you're in a lot of problems. Again, moving up, hands up, slipping that jab, catching, slipping, coming over with the right hand. And again, we catch, slip, over with the right hand. In position, catch, slip, right hand. Again, catch, slip, right hand, left hook. One more time. I'm pressuring, slip, right hand, left to the body. We're in close now. This boxer's got no room. And the other thing, as you'll know, where we are now, we don't have ropes. So if I had him back on the ropes, then he'd be in a lot of trouble. His back would be on the ropes and he would not be in a position to move.